What is up, everybody? I'm George Mossey. I'm here with my co-host, Marshana Dahlia Spavento. So last night, 90 Day Fiance, Before the 90 Days, Season 5, Episode 14. There's still 2 episodes left. This has been the longest season in 90 Day history for any of their shows. There's going to be 16 episodes plus the tell-all. We did not see Ella or Johnny last night, which has been a recurring theme. They're usually not on the show. And it's probably because Johnny went on Instagram and revealed to us that they still have not met, which I'm pretty sure is a violation of his NDA agreement. But we kind of know what's going to happen thanks to him telling us that. So let's talk about Geno and Jasmine, okay? So after their 15th argument in less than 3 weeks, this one was about a trip that he took to Legoland. And she felt that he didn't tell her, which it happened 6 or 7 years ago, and everything was completely blown out of proportion, which brings me to this question. Are they toxic together? Do you think that they're toxic together? Because they've had probably one drama-free day on this trip. And if you've had only one drama-free day in a 3-week period, you're probably toxic for each other, right?
I mean, I don't recall this drama-free day in question. I just remember drama after significant drama. Oh, you gave me a toothbrush. Oh, you didn't get me anything for Christmas. Oh, you didn't buy the clothes that I picked out for you. Oh, you sent my topless photos to people. Like, I don't know of a toxic day between them. And I said this before. I said that Jasmine forgiving Geno and taking him back after the photo incident was never going to really be the end of it, that she was going to use this and make him continue to suffer and pay for it. And I think that that's painfully apparent. Even the proposal, which should have been beautiful and wonderful and all, hearts and giggles and sprinkles and rainbows, she's criticizing the ring. And listen, I get it. If you're expected to wear a ring for the rest of your life, you kind of want what you want. But it goes to show that they both don't know each other that well. My husband knew what to get me. Okay. So he knew, what it was. There was conversations about that. So I'm not really getting it.
See, I feel like she has made it clear to Geno that she likes flashy things. I've heard her say that to him. And Geno, she said when she said the ring screams Geno, I said, oh, so it screams cheap. It screams it didn't cost a lot, because that was what she described him as he didn't dress well, he didn't put thought into things, he didn't like to spend money. And I was like, maybe this is a red flag here, saying yes. Well, I didn't think she was going to say yes to the ring at all. I said when he pulls out the $270 ring, that's going to be a no, because she automatically knew and looked at it and said, I don't think this is a diamond. She knew it right away. So I just want to know what's going to give, because I can't imagine these two people getting married. It's going to be such a crazy situation. And I just don't know if Geno has it in him to really suffer for the rest of his life. And I don't get me wrong, what he did was wrong and he should suffer, but does he want to continue to suffer for the rest of his life?
I mean, Geno must know. He keeps going back for more. So this is, I mean, the remorse that I could find for Geno is just non-existent. But you made a point about Jasmine liking flashy things. Well, women who like flashy things tend to date men with jobs, tend to date men with careers. I don't think she really likes flashy things as much as she likes being in control. Remember, before he even got to Panama to visit her, she was making him like show her, like, oh, you went to go get a burger at the
Mm-hmm.
store. Show me. Where are you? Like, prove to me you're a good boy. Open your phone. Open your this. Open your that. I think that being in control of someone or having the upper hand in the relationship, always feeling like I have dirt on you, you owe me, you've sent my naked pictures. She uses these things in relationships to maintain control. So, I mean, because women who are really about that life, who are about that money, who are about that bling, who are about that ring, they date men with careers.
Not a guy who's been unemployed for over a year. So this is very true. So let's talk about Kim and Soulja Boy. So fresh off of throwing a drink in his face, she's packing her things. She knows that it's over. Is her words, not mine. She's ready to leave Tanzania. And lo and behold, there's a text message after she said, you're going to have to do something extremely big and bold to prove that you love me, which I think is ridiculous. If someone loves you, they love you. And if they do something that you don't like, then accept it for what it is and move on. But he buys into it. He texts her back. He has her meet at the beach bar where there's a live performance of one of his songs and dinner. And that's it. That's all it took. They're back in it. She's back in it to be, his wife, his potential wife. She's back to girlfriend now. And I just feel like this is also, we're beating a dead horse here. Like Usman has made it pretty clear he doesn't really see a future. He'll keep reeling that line out as much as he can to keep her on the bait hook, but he's not going to marry her. I don't see where it's going to go. He was so serious about Zara, the Zara who looks nothing like Kimberly. And I feel like his type and what he wants is clear. I just need Kimberly to catch up so she can understand that what she's doing with him is wasting her time. She can't convince a man to appreciate and love her and respect her and understand that she's a loyal, good woman.
You know, I always have unpopular opinions on this podcast, and here's time for another unpopular opinion by Marshana Dahlia Spavento. Kimberly is no idiot. She's very, very smart. She's highly intelligent. Deep down in her heart of hearts, she knows that this relationship is BS. Okay, so let's just go with that. Kimberly is very, very well aware. Kimberly knows a good performer when she sees one. She's a huge Michael Jackson fan, lest we forget. But I remember, she knows that that performance was trash. No shade, Usman, but you're not Michael Jackson. We love you, Usman, but you're not Michael Jackson. She knew that he wasn't as invested in her as she was in him, which is why she went with all the lavish gifts, made all the big gestures and things like that. And her kind of trying to ask him for that in return is kind of indicative of the fact that she knows he's not that into her, because she knows. What I'm saying is Kim knows that this is not how healthy relationships look or work. She knows that this is not how a man behaves when he's into her. You know, I think she was trying to prompt him to do things to show her, like, prove to me that you're into me. But deep down, I know Kimberly knows. That's it. Usman, on the other hand, needs to stop taking advantage of the fact that Kimberly is more invested in him than he is in her, and stop doing things to reel her back in. Now, I'm always going to talk about production, right? Production has seen a couple like Ellie and Johnny. They're not really on the show. There's barely anything to talk about here. I mean, we can probably skip over them like we did Tim and Maliza. There's nothing to report. Nothing new ever happens with that story. And then, of course, partway through the season, we lost Caleb and Alina. So I think that they are producing the life out of this couple just to make more content and to make it stretch, even though this probably filmed like last year, well before Caleb and Alina were taken off the show. But I'm just assuming that scenes that would have hit the cutting room floor, guys, because believe it or not, people listening at home, not everything that gets filmed makes it to air. And I think they're just airing every little inch of footage that they had just to fill the episodes.
I agree with you. I feel like they're dragging this on, and I feel like they're not going to end up together. I don't know that, but I just feel like they're not going to. Just like with Geno and Jasmine, I feel like in the very end, they're not going to end up together. This is just all fanfare. It's all for us to watch and be surprised over. All right, so I want to talk about Memphis. So Memphis has the family doing celebrations for the wedding, which are normally weeks-long celebrations, but since she was unprepared, unplanned for this wedding, they didn't even have time to do the full cultural wedding celebration because, again, she doesn't know what she wants to do. And she basically is trying to do a prenuptial agreement 2 days prior to a wedding, which anyone, especially a nurse practitioner, should know you need more than 2 days to create a legal document. So now she is in the point where she wants to either postpone the wedding or force, and I don't want to say force, but this is basically what signing under duress means, for Hamza to sign these papers, which he doesn't have to do. And I tweeted this out yesterday. He could easily say, I'll sign it, and then once they get married, not sign it. And I kind of hope that is what he does do, because this is her fault. This is her unprepared and lack of knowledge of the situation that put her here. And the way that she spoke to his sister, to him, it just, they see nothing but disrespect. And I want to sympathize with her because she wants to protect her children, but she's also making him feel like he's worth less, worth nothing. The way that she talks to him, the way that she makes it seem like if she marries him without a prenup, he's gonna empty her bank account is so horrible to say that about somebody who you love and who you think loves you.
You know, Memphis, I know you watch this podcast. which makes it difficult because we don't want to be mean. Okay. We love everybody. People are people. This, however, is indicative of the poor life choices and decisions that Memphis makes. If Memphis is so concerned with not jeopardizing her children and making sure that they're okay and that they are well cared for, provided for, and protected, then you don't meet men on the internet in Tunisia, marry them in Tunisia, and then bring an effective stranger into your home to live with your children. See, so, the prenup protection, yes, a prenuptial agreement can provide financial protection in the event that this marriage should turn south. However, you don't know Hamza. He could come into your home and behave any kind of way with your children. I am not saying, Hamza, that this is what you do, or that you're a bad person, or that you intend to harm the children in any way, shape, or form. It is already trauma enough that she is not with the father of the children or the ex-husband. And children experiencing divorce and separation is a form of trauma, childhood trauma. And then mommy keeps meeting men on the internet and bringing them and marrying them. This is all trauma. So if the goal as a mother is to protect your children, who protects them from your bad decisions?
I agree with you 100%. 100%. The things that she's doing are not in the best interest of her children. They're not in the best interest of herself. Like, it makes me wonder how someone who has the knowledge to become a nurse practitioner, which is not an easy thing to do by any means, can make these type of decisions in her daily life. It just baffles me because she's clearly intelligent, book smart, and wise when it comes to being a medical professional, but when it comes to her life and her children and the things that she does, it leaves me speechless, and that's so difficult. I always have something to say, and I just want to believe that deep down there's a mother in there who's going to realize that the decisions that she's making are not in the best interest and protection of her children, and at some point she's going to start putting those kids first, because she wants to make it seem like she does, but her actions are telling us something different.
Agreed, wholeheartedly.
Hey guys, that's it for part one. We're going to come back to part two and talk about Mike and Jimena and what could be the complete end of their relationship, and Ben and Mahogany, because somebody got left at the resort. So we will talk to you guys about that in part two. Thank you so much for joining us for the 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days podcast. I'm George Mossey. This is my co-host, Marshana Dahlia. I live tweeted last night. There was over 24,000 tweets trending for 90 Day Fiance. And keep in mind, there were other things on, like a Formula One race as well. So that is a lot of people interested. Thank you guys so much, and we'll talk to you guys really soon.